The news about Bigfoot, the recent news, is Adam Davies
And John Carlson.
and John Carlson coming forth and saying they saw the portal. So they're publicly, all three.
Yes.
So what do you think about that, Lady K?
I think it's extraordinary. I think it's really, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of, it's incredible, you know? I'm at a loss for words, I guess.
It's interesting. It seems to have split. I feel the same way. I think it's quite extraordinary. A lot of people are claiming that it's useless and it's not evidence and it's not proof of anything, and I disagree. I think it's proof of a very strange phenomenon. Three credible eyewitnesses would put anybody in jail.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I mean,
oh, absolutely.
if these three guys were to turn around and say so-and-so did such and such, that person would go to jail for that. There'd be no ifs, ands, buts about it. It'd be like, hey, these three guys saw it happen.
Yeah.
But apparently you can't see demons from the netherworld that coming out of a portal. That doesn't, they won't accept that.
Right. Well, it's really easy to be a naysayer and to just criticize. It takes a hell of a lot more courage to go out there, and if you do experience something, to come out and say it.
So what's been happening in our area that you would publicly talk about? Anything?
Oh, not much.
Does that mean that there's not much you talk about, or there's not much taking place?
No, it means there's not much I would talk about.
Well, I would talk about it, but I can't.
I know you would.
I can't talk about it because you don't want me to. But here's what I can talk about. If I could go back in time and talk to myself a few years ago, I would tell myself that everything you think you know about Bigfoot is wrong, pretty much. You don't know what you think you know. You don't even know what you don't know yet.
Right.
Now I'm beginning to recognize what I don't know.
That's why I'm really kind of happy that I came into this really knowing nothing. I wanted to be a blank slate, in other words, you know, and I'm not really prone to fancy at all, you know that. So it's like I experience things and I relay them, and then I found it fascinating.
Well, see, here's the problem, is what people will accept for proof. People want to call it proof, right? And for an animal, usually an animal for proof, you get a holotype. You bring forth a type specimen of that creature, the first specimen, no one else has seen it, you bring it forth and you put it in a jar or you stuff it, you put it in a museum somewhere, and there's your proof, right?
Right.
So my analogy to that is duct taping Bigfoot to the snowmobile trailer and taking him to the town office and tagging him. Not that I would have any intention of doing that, but that's what people want.
Well, they're not going to get it.
No, that's what I'm saying. You're not going to get that because it's a completely different phenomenon.
It doesn't play by those rules.
What's that?
It doesn't play by those rules.
No, the first thing you have to accept, right, the first thing as a human being that you have to accept is, one, that we don't know everything.
Right.
We don't even know the stuff that we think we know
about
stuff. I mean, we operate like we do, but we have to accept that we don't know everything. Then the second thing we have to accept is that we're not alone in this universe, and we're not the smartest kid on the block either, not by a long shot.
No. Yeah. They think it's a futile exercise, and so they don't even want to try.
Right. So what they're doing is they're asking for evidence, and what they want is evidence of Gigantopithecus or Homo heidelbergensis or a Neanderthal or some type of relic hominid critter, bipedal critter that's flesh and blood, physical. You can dart it, put it to sleep, put it in the zoo. Mm-hmm. But that's not what we're dealing with. We're dealing with something that would dart us and put us in a zoo.
Perhaps, yeah.
No, that's how I feel, that we're operating, because we've got this mindset, on planet Earth, that we're the top kids on the block. We operate like we we know what we're doing, and we're very destructive and violent.
Mm-hmm. And then we claim that we're not. I mean, look at it. Look at the whole, any kind of controversial issue, climate change or like genocide of, indigenous groups, it's just like, and people will not even agree that it happened, or they will come up with reasons to justify it. So
there's a lot of disinformation.
Right.
Yeah, and a lot of people making up their own mind about what is reality.
Mm-hmm.
And what I think this is showing us is we need a lot to learn.
Yeah.
That's what it is, right? It's a remarkable opportunity to go and learn something. The idea of a Bigfoot walking that's hairy on two legs is kind of recent.
I have no idea.
Well, no, it's only from like 1958. I mean, prior to that, the indigenous people, like you said, had a whole variety of different concepts of what this thing were. None of what we think it is. I mean, didn't they talk about it like it's an elder brother? You know, and it was the king of the forest, or the boss of the forest, or the head honcho, the powerful thing that could take you spiritually.
Yep.
And could also crush you like a bug with a giant log or rock. But these same stories, in a different fashion, they had over in Europe and England and Scotland. The indigenous people over there, before they weren't indigenous people anymore.
Right.
So what do you think the fallout's going to be? Where do you think this is going to go now that Adam Davies and John Carlson and Dr. Matt are all reporting the same story about the portal? And didn't you say there was like 8 people have gone up there now?
Yeah, like 8 people have seen it. So where do I think it's going to go with the critics? Nowhere. They don't care, you know. And honestly, I don't care for them as an audience, you know, or anything. You know, their opinion doesn't matter. What
good point.
What really matters is that people continue to do their research.
But you say their opinion doesn't matter, but have you noticed that
I don't even notice them.
No, let me finish my question. That the skeptics and the cynics will quite frequently say, well, there's nothing to it, but if you got some real evidence, I'll look at it.
Nobody owes them that.
Right, but they position themselves as if that their opinion matters somehow. Like, they put themselves as an authority. Oh, it's la-da-da, I'll discredit it. And then they turn around, but you give me some evidence, I'll look at it. It's like they want you to take it to their office, to their desk, email it to them. These people are not willing to take a plane, get on a bus or train, drive their vehicle, go somewhere and invest, 4 or 5 days of actually looking into it by spending time in the forest.
Right.
They want you to take the evidence out of the forest in their mind and go and provide it to them so that they can...
Like I said, that doesn't interest me, and they don't interest me.
Oh, it doesn't interest me either. No, I agree.
It's like, okay, you sit there and wait to be persuaded. I don't care. I'm gonna go continue to go to the source, you know? Well, I don't care what they do at the time.
No, I don't either. And the other thing that it has done for me is I don't even try to get DNA anymore. I could care less.
Right.
I think that's a fruitless endeavor.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I like tracks because I'm interested and curious about them, but they're not going to prove anything to anybody.
Right.
They're interesting to me because if somebody has a track, I'll look at it and I can get a lot
about it. Yeah.
I can get a lot of information out of that track, but it's not proof to anybody else. It tells me stuff about what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what I think is going to happen is I think that every skeptic and cynic there is going to be furiously typing their blog post or doing a video right now, and
getting some clicks, yeah.
They're going to come out and say that Dr. Matt is capable of mass hypnosis, and everybody goes up there. He either hypnotizes them, or he puts an hallucinogenic in the Kool-Aid, or there's a mass conspiracy, and these guys are in it for the big bucks. That they're going to come up with some cockamamie theory, other than the fact that the 3 guys are telling the truth about the experience.
Right, right.
Or they'll say that the 3 guys are telling the truth about experience, but it was the red glow of the taillights off the Jeep, and I don't know how they're going to get away with the demonic demons.
Why I don't even pay attention to them.
From the nether
realms. They can get as creative as they want. You know? It doesn't matter.
I think a bunch of them should be eating crow because they pretty much said that Dr. Matt was a liar, and that when Adam Davies came out that he was going to discredit what Dr. Matt had to say. And you and I, we can say this now, we were privy to a private conversation with Adam Davies quite a while ago. He was kind enough to contact us. And what we talked to him like an hour and a half, right?
Yeah, no, it was fascinating.
But unlike most people, we keep our mouth shut about things that are private. And he didn't want us talking about it, but he told us exactly what he told that guy on the interview, that that what Dr. Matt was saying is true. There's Sasquatch is up there.
Yeah.
And apparently there's also a portal that has demons from the nether realm guarding it.
Yeah.
Well, that's according to John Carlson and Adam.
Yeah.
Adam Davies. I mean, that's the discrepancy. The only disagreement is not that the event occurred as to
Right.
what the intent, was of the
you know,
creatures.
whether it was benign or it was malevolent. That's where any kind of disagreement was about.
Right. I suppose we can share that you did hear rock clacking the last time we were up at the
Yes.
mountain again.
Mm-hmm.
And the parabolic mic that we had worked awesome, but we're still working on getting it.
I got to get a recorder.
Yeah, well, I
It'll do all
think
night long.
that's on the way eventually. But
Yeah.
all right, so I'd like to know from the Zen Yetians if they think this is gonna.
I think this is very difficult for most people to accept.
Oh, it is
And
difficult.
They're just going to go. They can't. It's too much for them, for most people. And I'm not going to be like mad at people for not. But
Oh,
it's
me neither.
just their own. That's how they're going to be.
This is my argument about that you can't tell somebody what chocolate tastes like. You can't tell somebody what a bottle of wine is like or cheese. They have to eat it. They have to go and experience
Find
the
for
thing
themselves.
themselves. They can turn around and go, oh, cheese doesn't exist, and that bottle of wine's an hallucinant, imaginary, whatever. But you can say that all you want. It doesn't take away from the reality of the situation.
Yeah.
Just like these things that we want to call Bigfoot don't give a flying fig about providing DNA. They don't care if you believe they exist or not. It's
'cause
irrelevant.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally irrelevant to them. And we're headed up, I guess, next week, huh?
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Weighing down below, guys, do you think that the skeptics will now eat their roasted crow? I hear Dr. Matt's offering them.
I vote no. I like that. It's $19.95, and you can get. He's selling forks and spoons and, condiments for that.
You don't think they're going to eat crow?
Oh hell no, they will not.
Simon Hicks manned up and ate a big old plate of it.
Oh no, he just changed his mind.
No, he did. But Simon Hicks, see, that's hard to do
It is.
to change your mind.
You
but
change your mind a lot.
I change my mind all the time. I don't know what I don't know.
Yeah,
No, actually, I know what I
That's-
don't know.
that's being humble.
And it's tastier than crow.